Hello everyone. Today we are back with a summary lecture of our week 2 of the subject Basic Entrepreneurship for Engineers. Today we are going to discuss the summary of what we have been taught in our second week of this subject. So I have as usually written down some of the key points which are to be discussed, and these key points are design thinking. So let's first discuss about the design thinking. We in uh, in this week we have studied some of the different definitions of design thinking and some of the points regarding it. Some of the points are: design thinking is something that challenges the accepted wisdom. Okay, design thinking focuses on life centric approach. Design thinking building helps in building maximum value for users. Design thinking is very meaningful, productive, and profitable for consumers. So these are the some of the things we have studied in design thinking. To in this week we have generally carry forward what we have left in the last week. Basically, design thinking was the most important aspect we have studied this week, and in further in design thinking we have mostly focused in empathy and define. Okay, so let's move forward. Preliminary tools for design thinking. What are the preliminary tools that are required for design thinking? So the very first and the very most important thing is growth mindset. As I have taught, as I have said in the last lecture as well, growth mindset is really important for growing and developing as a personal human being and solving problems for other individuals. Next is convergent and divergent thinking. This type of thinking we will be seeing forward in this video. Next is wicked problems. We have also seen this thing wicked problems in our previous lecture. Again, and next is abductive reasoning. This is also the thing we have studied in our last lecture. So let's focus on convergent and divergent thinking. Okay, so let's see here convergent and divergent thinking. The basic difference between this type of thinking is, let's first hear divergent thinking. Divergent thinking focuses on generating ideas in a broad way, in a wider view. It helps in generating ideas, exploring options, and basically using imagination and creativity out of the box, thinking like there is no box. Okay, once that this is the first step of thinking. Once the divergent thinking is done, now we come to convergent thinking. Then the ideas we have thought of should be narrowed down to ideas which are feasible, which are viable. For example, now we make choices among those ideas we have uh, thought in divergent thinking. Then we evaluate the ideas. We categorize the ideas into feasible based on their feasibility, viability. Then we use our wisdom, logic, and facts to come out with the best possible idea or solution of a particular problem. So this is the difference between divergent and convergent thinking. Here we have been discussed an idea, and we have been given an example of Ola and Uber. So see the cursor. This was the very first step. Here, when people have to travel from point A to point B, they simply use the existing solutions such as rickshaw, taxi, auto, all that thing. Then people used a divergent thinking method to think the possible ways of going from point A to point B, and on doing that divergent thinking, they came out with various ideas. Then they used convergent thinking method, which resulted in the idea of Ola and Uber and all that things. Okay, now when Ola and Uber came, some other new problems arose. Then people again used their divergent thinking process to think of some better idea. Then they came out with the convergent. Then they again used convergent process to come out with the choice, the required solution of that problem, which is then at last in-drive method was adopted, which was based on price negotiation between driver and consumer. As we know, in today's world, what we are dealing with is generally wicked problem. So this is also an example based on wicked problem. Okay, next thing which we saw was life centric approach. Design thinking basically focuses on life-centric approach, means it focuses on improving the life of individual or a group of individual or society, and helps in solving problems which helps in betterment of society. This was a Venn diagram we saw. These are the three circles which show the ideas, and all these three circles they have different ideas. Like one is, have desirability, other is feasibility, and third one is viability. Design thinking's approach should contain all these important aspects, and the intersection of this thing comes out as our solution of the problem, which and the solution should be both all these components like desirable, feasible, and viable. Okay, next thing is design thinking is a non-linear process and a lean process. It can be understood by this thing here. Look, design thinking is a non-linear process and a lean process. First of all, it is a non-linear process. It means it's not simply empathize, define, ideate, prototype, and test. But one can also have to move back. Like if a person goes till prototype stage and he finds an error in his solution, then he must jump back to empathies or ideate or define. And if an error is found in the testing stage, then also he or she must jump to empathies, ideate, and all this. It means interchanging of this process should go on simultaneously. And the meaning of the word lean process is that lean process lean process focuses on the fact that one should fail fast in order to adapt to the best possible solution in the society. Failing fast is the key in adopting this type of design thinking processes. And basically these are the process of iterate quickly as quickly as possible. Last thing is we have learned about empathy and define in brief, which can be seen here. Empathy and define in brief. Empathy can be understood as observing, immersing, engaging, and it is a qualitative and quantitative data collection, feeling and needs, understanding through body language, and etc. etc. Importance of empathy is that it allows high impact solution to bubble up from below rather than being exposed from the top. This is the importance of empathy. For example, and in this type of empathy, we have seen the image of a monkey, from where we have drawn numerous conclusions regarding based on that image. And a very famous quote given by some of the great influencer was, needs are opportunities, not solution. I repeat it, needs are opportunities, not solution. Okay, so this was also all about empathize. Next is define. Define can be said as analysis, focusing on five whys, unpacking the situation, synthesizing needs, focusing on ambiguity, uncertainty, focusing on questions like how might we, focusing on personas. Personas refers here to the background of different individuals. And importance of define was thorough understanding of user context, go into direction of problem with word solving, mind mapping, and all that things. So this was our summary of our second week. So thank you to all for listening this. Now we will be meeting in the summary lecture of week 3. Till then, take care, tata, bye bye.